Day 2 of the opening weekend of the GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC, has arrived. We kick-started the season in absolutely brilliant fashion yesterday, so let's continue the story here at Silverstone Circuit for our second race of the year. Well, hello everyone, my name is Omi, delighted to be with you back for another season, and yes, we had an absolutely thrilling contest to kickstart our journey in 2026. Plenty of racing, battling, entertainment, action, every single adjective that you can find to describe what took place yesterday. And of course, we're at one of the most historic circuits when it comes to the entirety of motor racing as well, a venue that was opened in 1948. And we've already been beating lap records with our newly optimized GB3 car. Not completely new, it's the same car as last year, but it's been further developed. It's year 2 of this set of the regulations. And of course, this Silverstone circuit, 18 turns in total. It really has it all, doesn't it? This circuit has it all, 3.6 miles. What it doesn't have is elevation change. But when you have such a great circuit, I guess if we are lacking on one aspect, that is absolutely fine. The cars are making their way to the dummy grid, and what I mean by dummy grid is they will line themselves up, then they'll get going for the formation lap. So this is them on the way to the grid if you are synced up with us at the moment. So that's what's going on. Wes will be with us later on for race number 3, the reverse grid race. You've got myself, Omi, up here in the commentary box for race 2 as well. I'll be back later on as well for the Freck race. And of course, I'll be here with you across this entire campaign, and I'm really looking forward to continuing it here right now at Silverstone, as they make their way to the grid now. We're slightly delayed a couple of minutes due to the Ginetta race that we were having. We had 2 Ginetta races that have happened so far. We've had a GB4 race. I have to say, it was very, very overcast for the GB4 drivers earlier on, so we are definitely dealing with a lot of better conditions right now, I can definitely tell you. Of course, the track is a bit more rubbered in now. The sun's come out a little bit, not as much as yesterday, I'd probably say, but it's definitely a little bit better. Oh, hold on a minute. Martin Molnar getting pushed into the pit lane. Now, this is the driver who had an absolutely thrilling start yesterday to take the lead. Once he'd taken the lead, he built up a 3-second gap. And then basically, that was, you know, his lead for about half the race until Bedrin came and took it over. But he still found himself finishing in the podium places by the end of the race. But it seems like he's heading to the pit lane, and that is such a disaster for the driver who was once again going to be starting highly. And what a shame that is. That is a disappointment. He was meant to be starting in P4, and he will now be pushed to the pit lane for some reason. Wonder whether there's a car issue. Now, talking about car issues, we did not know what happened to Abby Pulling yesterday. It was a suspension damage that took place. So, of course, we saw her slowing down drastically down the Wellington Straight yesterday, and then she continued on for a little bit, and then eventually they would have noticed and came in as well. But the marshals having to push Martin Molnar, the Hungarian, down the pit lane as well. But let's see what we're going to get then. This is the second race of the weekend. I remember the racing here at Silverstone last year. In terms of the second weekend it was of Silverstone. We, of course, did 2 in a year. It was the second one. Race 2 was the dramatic one. So there is always a chance that this Silverstone circuit can just deliver you one of the wildest races of the GB3 campaign. So we've had to wait a couple of extra minutes for it, but I can now tell you that the formation lap is underway and the drivers move away from the line. Varying pace levels in terms of the way they do so, of course, as they find themselves standing on the power and now pushing on. So that will now give us the opportunity to talk you through the grid then for this race. Our second race of the season. We'll have our reverse grid race later on as we take a look at Martin Molnar, if you are synced up with us, who is down in pit lane with some issue it seems. Okay, Nikita Bedrin is on pole position once again, trying to make it 2 out of 2 in terms of race victories. He's alongside Deegan Fairclough, who got off the line very quickly when it came to yesterday. Maxim Rem third. Martin Molnar was meant to start fourth, but considering he's in the pit lane, I don't really think that would be the case. P5 is Abby Pulling, and she goes alongside Patrico Gonzalez, of course, Pulling with suspension damage yesterday, trying to fight back here today. Rowan Campbell Pilling involved in so much of the racing. Lucas Flusha was, until he had a bit of contact. He'll go from 8th place. Jun Nakamura in 9th. That's the driver who he made contact with. And then it is Kai-Hu Lee, who will go from 10th position. Outside the top 10, we've got the second of the Gonzalez brothers, Rodrigo, going from 11th. And it is Flynn alongside him 14th. Alex Catules is in 13th. And then it's Leon Wilson starting in 14th as well. And then 15th for Hill Speed is Dante Vinci. Made some good moves yesterday. And Fu, same applies to him. He'll go from P16 for High Tech TGR. 17th, it's Kirill Kutzkov coming from the Italian F4 Championship. And then it is Peter alongside in 18th. Aurelia Nobles starts in 19th. And then it is Ricardo for the team in 20th. Jason Pribble in 21st. And then we have Jack next alongside in 22nd. And Lewis Gilbert is the final car in position. Last on the grid. Okay, very nearly about to go racing then. The drivers have had a bit of a delay, as I mentioned. Only a couple of minutes, but when you're meant to be racing and when you're set to be racing, everyone has to take different approaches as to, going into a bit of a longer delay. Because everyone has a bit of a schedule in terms of when you get into a car, you're aiming for it to all be timed perfectly. But then when you are put in these type of delay situations, every driver has to adapt to that differently, whether that is just stay calm, stay fun, enjoy yourself a bit more, whether that's try stay composed and red flags, etc. All of this is something the drivers have to contend with. The drivers who were with us last year had to deal with it quite a bit, especially when it came to the latter rounds of the campaign, when we had incidents at circuits like Brands Hatch. We had an incident also at Donington Park in the races prior, and it delayed us massively. And you also had the element of in those races that we had, not only, of course, was it just delays in general, but it was also big frightening accidents, which luckily the drivers were able to walk away from. So it would have been, very hard for the drivers in terms of not knowing whether the other drivers in that series were okay. It was the Ginetta Junior Championship that had plenty of incidents as well when it came to last year, which meant that our schedules were very much changed last year, and it's something that the drivers will have to get used to, because the more you continue to go through the ranks of motor racing, it's an aspect that continues to increase. Even when you get to Formula 1, delays or something, everyone has to get used to. And weather, you never know what that's going to do. However, here at Silverstone, the weather's been good so far. I mean, it was a little bit overcast, as I mentioned earlier on this morning. The sun has come back out for one of two races that we have coming up today. 25 minutes will be on the clock. It will be our second race of the GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. The cars will line themselves up in position, and then they will blast down towards Cobb's Corner. The green flag will fly at the back. Our eyes will turn to the 5 red lights, with all 5 lit. And GB3 is racing at Silverstone once again. Great start for Jin Nakamura further back, but at the front of the field, Deegan Fairclough takes the lead, and he hits the front of the field as Nikita Bedrin drops down to second place. Now, how do the fields attack? Maggots and Beckett. It's going to be Deegan Fairclough still looking in the mirrors, with Bedrin trying to fight back. The leading two side by side as they go through the opening few corners, and Bedrin retakes the lead. Well, he lost it for only a few moments until he was able to get it back. And now, can he defend it down Hanger Straight? A few other battles going on as well, as we see trying to go on the attack is Jason. But meanwhile, Fairclough to the outside line of Stowe Corner. Bedrin is just going to hang on to it. Great battling at the start of this race. So we find ourselves with Bedrin leading. Then it is Fairclough still trying to have a bit of an attack, but just slotting in behind. Then it's Maxim Rem in third position. They're still fighting away. That's Jin Nakamura sending it up the inside of Lucas Flusha, who had contact yesterday, but looking to try and just avoid it today. Bedrin, Fairclough, and then Maxim Rem, your top 3. That's your top 3 as it stands. We're still fighting away into the first turn. Really, really close there. Getting to the inside line appeared like we had Taylor looking for a move further back. Not the only one. Jin Nakamura still diving to the inside, still making overtakes, and also gaining a position at the same time. Plenty of racing to kickstart GB3 here on this Sunday. And meanwhile, Nikita Bedrin trying to break the toe. At the far, Nikita Bedrin has got the lead for the moment. Fairclough trying to come back, trying to get to the inside line. And right now at the moment, Bedrin just about hanging on to it. Absolutely fantastic fighting. Well, that has been an extraordinary race start so far, with 23 minutes remaining on the clock. We make our way out of the final corner. Some battling going on. That's the number 11 of Peter Bausnelles. And also he's fighting away with what looked like, I think, one of the Elite Motorsport cars. I mean, now he's fighting away with the number 24 of Jack Taylor. So Taylor's now in the mix with him. And they're going to go side by side. Are we going to still go wheel to wheel into Maggots and Beckett? Or will it be single file? It appears like they're all going to go single file, not wanting to risk contact. We had quite a bit of contact in yesterday's GB4 race. It was quite a dramatic race for them at the end of the day. It's a bit of a chaotic race for us yesterday. But right now at the moment, moves being attempted around the outside. That's a brave move as well coming in from Rowan Campbell-Pilling, who goes the long way round of Stowe Corner and gains a position. So I think he's just got past Lee, who's dropped down in the number 19 car, the Elite Motorsport car. The Elite Motorsport team having lots of troubles yesterday. It appeared like any time we were cutting to any dramatic, dramatic shots of a car stopping or something happening, it seemed like it was them mostly, unfortunately. But they're going to try regroup and go again, and that's the best thing that you can do. Another lunge coming in. The number 22 of Rodrigo Gonzalez looking for it, and the Elite Motorsport cars are still in the mix, and of course fighting away for those positions. Now trying to stand on the power. Oh! Hill speed car coming to a halt. Peter is stopping on the circuit, and this will surely cause our safety car. So Bausnales has come to a halt. And yeah, that's surely going to require some form of a interruption. What a disappointment for them, as they've stopped on my timing board. The race start has been noted, by the way, race controller just saying. So just receiving that information. As they make their way through, the safety cars deployed, understandably so, as we were predicting, and that's going to cause our interruption here. As Bedrin sets the fastest lap of 1 minute 50.658 on the previous lap. But the safety car is deployed. And the entertainment halted for a moment. But that's a disappointment as well. But the marshals already on task. Even before we get the safety car, they're absolutely going for it. So we thank all the marshals. I mean, I've been able to do that so far at every race, but we've had some chaotic races so far across everything we've covered here on the channel, Junior Formula Y. So I thank the marshals absolutely for everything that they've done. And not just that, but extending it also, you know, to the entire team of the medical crew, the fire crew, everyone that basically allows us to go motor racing. Of course, the championship gets everything together, so a big well done to them. And of course, MSV and everyone who puts this together for our entertainment here on a Sunday morning, Sunday evening later on as well. But everyone also then who makes the races possible. And of course the fans who make their way to the circuit and cheer on these drivers as well, because it's great that these drivers are getting all the support and getting all the attention early on in their career. And they really do put on a show and absolutely do deserve for everyone to be surrounding this place and entertaining themselves by watching some of the great talents do battle. And that's what these drivers are currently doing here very shortly. The marshals have very nearly pushed the car. I mean, it's an easy push as it's still rolling on its tyres, so they're just easily being able to push it back. The driver is going to be assisting as well with steering. They're still inside. Is Peter Bausnelez. So I would hope, thanks to the marshals who've done a great job, I'd hope we can get the safety car in. So we lose minimal time. But yeah, the marshals have been very quick with that. They were immediately on the scene. Of course, we were mentioning how these cars are slightly optimized as well going into this year. So they're slightly faster, which is why we're breaking lap records. They're easier, I guess, I hope at least. They're much more better for the driver. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. I've noticed a lot of people, tracks that have been saying they look visibly quicker. Which, you know, it's only a few seconds, but if they visibly look a bit more aggressive and a bit more faster and a bit more better, then that's absolutely perfect and great news. At the moment, we're just cutting away to fans absolutely everywhere when it comes to the circuit. Great to see everyone enjoying a great day. Of course, lots of these fans, I'm sure, would have gone to the British Touring Cars 1 week ago. And now going to the British GT weekend. That's what we're here in support of. And we're beginning this journey here at Silverstone that will end in October. When it comes to, or November even, I should say. November. I'm so unused to seeing a series like this go all the way to November. But no, this year we are going to the start of November. And that will be a conclusion of a campaign at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. Should be, hopefully, a great way to end the season there. And of course, we've also got an exciting trip coming to the Red Bull Ring this year. So what is there not to look forward to? What is there not to look forward to across 2026 for this series? Okay. 16 minutes and 30 seconds remain on the clock, and we are all set and ready to resume racing around one of the great circuits as well, not just on our calendar, but in the entirety of motorsport. Bedouins at the front. Deegan Fairclough now had a very, very great start to the race where he took the lead. He lost it, but, you know, he was attacking. He was attacking in the early phases. Bedouin will know that if he wants to win this, a good starting point is to get the jump on Deegan Fairclough, and that is exactly what he's done. He brought them to a crawling pace. He's bolted it now out of the final corner, and that is a comfortable advantage. Nikita Bedouin takes us back to green flag racing at Silverstone Circuit. Over the line we go, and the green flags are out. Fairclough in second place, Maxim Rems in third. Looking for a move further back is Jin Nakamura, trying to go to the outside line, but having to just chill in behind for the moment. And I say the word chill because he's been aggressive so far, but now he's looking for it into Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, you cannot stop him too much, can you? Jin Nakamura. He is on it. I mean, you can tell as well, for the fact that he's doing a dual campaign with Formula 3. It's not something we usually see, but he is wanting to maximize his racing weeks this year. And he is wanting to get in the running as well. Who is going to make the move into Stowe Corner? We might have to look a little bit further back. All the way around the outside goes Ricardo, I think that is. And he's been able to make the move and get through. But there are still opportunities for dive bombs to come in and fight backs to come in from some of these drivers. Out the final corner we go. And back down the start, finish, straight. If this was Formula 1 for the British Grand Prix, that's where the Grand Prix will get underway later on this year. Of course, we have the old start, finish straight, where Formula 1 even used to do it. And, oh, getting really close. We cut away, but there was a side-by-side going on, I think, further back. We'll get to that in a moment and see who that was. There we go. Our camera, our lovely camera and directing team will just wait and bring us back over to the entertainment as we hit the Wellington Straight, and cars are about to go absolutely everywhere, and a bit of debris going flying off the front wing as one of the cars has got damage. Just trying to identify who that is at the moment. That's the number 23 of Alex Catules. So Catulus has got damage to the front wing. His nose cone is gone because he slammed into the back of the elite car that's in front of him. That is, oh my word, how on earth has Alex Catulus hanged on to that one? Very nearly losing the car as he made his way onto the start-finish straight. He's being attacked out of absolutely everywhere. Round the outside goes the number 22 there of Rodrigo Gonzalez, and it is wild here at Silverstone as we go side by side. 3 wide is not a good idea into Maggots and Beckett, and backing out of it for that reason was Alex Catulus, as moving up and taking the position. Just trying to see who that even is. That's just absolutely roared on by and taken advantage of all of the scrapping that we have that is taking place down the straight. It's the number 27, and that of course being Leon Wilson. But Catulus with front wing damage, and it means, I mean, his nose cone is gone. It went flying because he slammed into the back of, now it was Lee in the Elite Motorsport car. I mean, I couldn't even say that for a while because of how much racing there was. I had to immediately try and put my focus on the very much aggressive side-by-side racing we were getting. Out of the final corner we go. Side-by-side we go into turn 1. Abbey corner, Jin Nakamura fighting away. At the same time, there as that's a late launch from Patricio Gonzalez, who's fighting back to the inside line. Nakamura will try fight back. Meanwhile, Nakamura is now going to come under pressure at the same time. And it is going to be in the number 7, Lucas Flusha there. And the two drivers who had contact yesterday back together on the circuit today as they go past Catulus' nose cone that's dropped on the circuit. Late send from Jin Nakamura, an attempted late send, but even further back actually. It's going to be the teammates going wheel to wheel. Flusha trying to hang on. Rowan Campbell-Pilling trying to go the long way round. And, well, we thought we had a late send from Jin Nakamura. It was even more braver from Rowan Campbell-Pilling, but neither were successful in the end. And now we make our way across the line and head down towards Copse. Great fighting, great entertainment as they blast on by. We are being treated to some fantastic racing, and further back also going for it was Ricardo at Copse corner. We are getting entertained, aren't we, today? Deegan Fairclough, I have to say, the gap 0.7 of a second. He's not completely letting Nikita Bedrin run away. We are being entertained at the moment. Here we go. Back down a DRS straight. And we're going to see Ricardo trying to attack and make the move on the hill speed car. Also keep your eye at the same time on Fu, who's going to be in the mix as well. Fu's going to go the long way round. So we're going to see the driver of Dante Vinci get overtaken. So Vinci's going to lose out. Fu's going to go on by. Vinci's going to try and fight this one round the outside in the hill speed car, outside to inside. And he's going to hang on to that position as well. As they come out of the final corner, oh my word, Fu going to the pit wall, still putting the defensive shapes, is Dante Vinci, the driver who's, well, been racing in the Italian F4 Championship last year. Of course, he knows how to get his elbows out left and right, because that's all you need to do in that championship. 3 wide, is that going to work? Cars absolutely everywhere. Getting overtaken is Dante Vinci at the moment, not having a great time of things, unfortunately for him. Getting shown an elbow and being thrown off the road, quite literally, is Jack Taylor. So Taylor's being pushed off, and now we're battling down the Wellington Straight once again, where cars have nothing to separate them. Holding the position at the moment is going to be Kirill Kutskov in the number 17. So Kutskov's got the place. Moving up then, the other hill speed car now, beginning to join the party. So you've got Aurelian Nobles now in the mix. Just ahead is Dante Vinci. And that's how the order looks. As they come over the line, down towards Copse. Are we going to see any brave moves? Are we going to see any brave attacks? Side by side, Aurelian Nobles round the outside. There, of the number 26 of Lewis Gilbert. Fantastic racing as they make their way now into Maggots and Beckett, where surely one driver has to give an inch. And meanwhile, you've got another one joining the mix as well. That is, of course, Jack Taylor. Oh, Deegan Fairclough. Deegan Fairclough slowing. And he's slowing down the hanger straight. What has happened to the driver who was running in second and was looking to try and have an attack for the lead? And that is going to be such a disappointment for Fairclough. In his second campaign he was entering of the GB3 Championship, it looks like it's all fallen apart. And I'm just trying to see, he's made it back, it appears, I think he's made it to the end of the lap, but he's come to the safety car is going to be deployed. He's come and stopped, I think, on the Hamilton straight. He stopped on the Hamilton straight. Abby Pulling's going to be moving up to third position, it seems. Now, yellow flags are out. I think down the Hamilton straight is where they've stopped. And yes, they're all having to slow down because of the yellows. And I think the safety car boards are out there. It is. Safety car's out. And that is not a surprise one bit that the safety car is deployed here at Silverstone. So 8 minutes to go on the clock. Realistically, it's going to be now a sprint to the finish. We're not going to have much time remaining in this race, are we? It's going to be a sprint to the finish all the way through. And then we'll see who can come out on the top step. What a shame. Deegan Fairclough. Now, has he stopped on the hanger straight, is that? Just trying to see, because my driver track is trying to suggest that they've stopped on... My driver track is trying to suggest that they've stopped on the Hamilton straight, but I don't know if that's remotely true, because it more looked like... Unless I mean, I couldn't really see the circuit properly. I could just see an angle, but it looked more like the hanger straight. Which, considering we were slowing down there, I would assume it is. I think we're about to find out, because we're heading down to the hanger straight. I don't see him in the shot at the moment, so I think the driver tracker is correct in this instance at the moment. But regardless, wherever he stopped, he is out of the contest, and he will play no further part. And he is stopped down the hanger straight. Yes, I was correct with that. So my driver tracker is not remotely correct in terms of suggesting that it stopped on the Hamilton straight. They have stopped on the hanger. So we have 7 minutes. They've not currently got out there to recover that. I'm hoping that we can still get a little bit of racing out of this, because of course, if you remember, or if you were watching rather, I think is probably a better way to phrase it. GB4 earlier, they had a late moment, but they just decided to red flag it with a few minutes to go, and of course the race would not continue. So I'm hoping we don't get to that territory and we can actually get a finish to this race. But I assume they do need to try and recover it quickly, don't they? So that does need to happen. Fairclough is out of the car though. And he'll be looking at what will be a very disappointing sight, I'm sure. Because he's had plenty of unlucky moments, I think it's fair to say. And unfortunately, that's another one that will be added to the list. And he was running quite highly in terms of second, and I don't believe we're not certain on whether Bedouin's doing the full campaign this year or not. So, I mean, as much as Bedouin is just dominating right now, there's no guarantee whether he's here for the full campaign. That's the element that we've got at the moment. So, we are behind the safety car then in the GB3 Championship, partnered by the VRDC. This is race number 2 of the year, in what will be 24 races by the time we see the flag at Barcelona in November. One of the longest journeys that we'll have. Meanwhile, in comparison, Freck's going to be ending in September. So we're concluding one campaign a bit earlier. Of course, we're ending one campaign earlier. We're ending one slightly later. They've just got Deegan Fairclough's car on the tow bed now, so I think we should be able to go racing quickly. So Freck's going to be ending slightly earlier. We're going to have Italian F4 and E4 and ending about where they would usually do, and then GB3 slightly later. But it's not going to be as wild as last year, where we had 4 championships, 4 of these junior single-seater championships that we were covering, all end in a space of 3 weeks. That was quite chaotic and quite entertaining, however. Quite entertaining. None of them delivered a championship battle that I would say was properly in the balance. It was either long shots or decided before the final race. GB3 was decided before the final race. Italian F4 was decided before the final race. Freck was decided before the final race. Did, however, go down to the final round. E4 went down to the end, right till the end, but it was a long shot. So, yeah, we didn't really get any proper wheel-to-wheel combat championship fights. Who knows? Could this be one? Could this championship be the one that delivers it this year? Could we maybe possibly be seeing it by... Who knows? I'm thinking we could possibly be seeing it by maybe Freck. That's started off well. Italian F4, you just never know what you're going to get in that. But in these championships, it's not uncommon to just sometimes, you know, get those type of dominations. You can think Bedrin's maybe going on a bit of a Ninovich route at the moment if he does decide to do this full campaign. Safety cars coming in at the end of this lap, so it is time to go racing, by the way, very, very shortly. For what will be a dramatic sprint all the way till the end. So, I'm not going to be betting at all in terms of how this one's going to go, because let's just say the GB3 Championship is usually wide open, and I'm really much certain that today that will be the case. 2 minutes and 20 seconds will remain on the clock. We will surely be beginning by the time we go racing, and I'm sure Bedrin's also going to try and slow this down as much. We will get a lap, that's guaranteed. But it's going to be a one-lap shootout to decide who's going to win this race, because I'm 100% certain, if we go over to the battle screen and see the best laps, 1 minute 50 is the best lap. We are about 9 seconds away from reaching a 1 minute 50. We're 100% going to get one lap only. Bedrin will slow it up as much. Now, of course, there's a guaranteed last lap because, of course, he's going to be, you know, very much making sure that, well, he can't realistically hang onto it for about 2 minutes. But there is only going to be a single lap. So one lap will remain of racing here at Silverstone Circuit. That's a guarantee. We've already gone 20 seconds past what the quickest lap around this circuit can be. But Nikita Bedrin is really trying to slow this one up. Really wants to try and make sure that he can catch the field out in some form of a way. We're coming through to the end of the final corner. The green flags are about to fly. And is Nikita Bedrin going to be able to take the win? Does Deegan Fairclough have an attack to come here on the, or Maxim Rem rather, have an attack to come on the final lap of the race? It's a one-lap shootout in the GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC, and Maxim Rem has got to run. Nikita Bedrin has to defend. Rem goes to the outside line. It is single file as they go through Cobb's corner. Pulling in third. Gonzalez is in fourth. Plenty of battles to play out here on the final lap of the race, and immediately Gonzalez trying to have an attack on Abby Pulling. Pulling tries to defend. Gonzalez gets to the apex first, and Gonzalez takes the final spot on the podium. Here comes Jin Nakamura now, who's got an opportunity, and we're about to go 3 wide in the battle for third position as Nikita Bedrin tries to break the toe. Who's going to get there into Stowe corner? So Bedrin, then Rem. Moving ahead is Gonzalez. Also keep an eye as well on Flusha. Round the outside goes Jin Nakamura. Is Pulling going to hang on? And somehow we're back to the order that we started this restart in. Cars are absolutely everywhere. Gonzalez trying to get to the inside line. Pulling trying to squeeze a big accident there as we headed down into rail corner. And Gonzalez goes over the top of Pulling as Flusha goes through and makes their way up to third position. A big accident here at the end of our race at Silverstone. Not the first time that we've seen an accident like that in a junior Formula race at that part of the circuit as well, but the Halo absolutely doing its job now at the moment. Jin Nakamura trying to go round the outside, but no overtaking opportunity as of yet. So this battle for third position is going to go on, and it's going to be absolutely wide open to who is going to take it. In the end, the top two are making their way through. They are nearly home, but this battle is going to rage on all the way till the end. It looks like for the moment, I think Lucas Flusha has just got it. Lucas Flusha is going to have it. Can Rowan Campbell-Pilling try and take 4th position away from Jin Nakamura. Nakamura tries to squeeze him all the way through. Nikita Bedrin comes across the line to win at Silverstone Circuit. He does the double now. Maxim Rem in 2nd. Abby Pulling is going to find herself, of course, no longer finishing in 3rd position. And instead, it is going to go to Lucas Flusha, Jin Nakamura 4th, Rowan Campbell 5th. Then it is Lee, Gonzalez, Wilson, Catules, and in 10th position, Ricardo. What on earth just happened on the final lap? That was absolutely wild. Abby Pulling walks away. A disappointing, the worst start to the campaign that she could have had. A retirement in race 1, a retirement in race 2, and this is what happened. She squeezed Gonzalez all the way through and into the air when Patricia Gonzalez. And as I said, the Halo absolutely doing its job as the car absolutely bolted up into the air. And as I said, it's not the first time. Of course, it was a very different style of accident, but you've had a car on top of another Halo before in terms of the F2 race that we had here in 2022, the feature race that day. So it's not the first time that we've seen it. It definitely won't be the last, but the Halo once again doing its job. I'd say if we are to draw comparisons, I'd say Monza 2021 of Hamilton and Verstappen probably is a bit more like a closer one, because they're it kind of happens in the same way where it goes over the top, doesn't it? In the end, they don't remain on top because of the speed compared to the Monza opening chicane that they had. So it's a bit different, but in terms of it going over the top and then at that speed, absolutely. The marshal just making sure Abby Pulling's okay. That's the most important thing. But of course, yeah, I'm sure she'll be very disappointed as this is not the start. This is not the start to the campaign that they would have wanted one bit. Well, what an unbelievable opening 2 races we've had. I knew a one-lap shootout would be ludicrous. It absolutely was. That is unbelievable. Absolutely ludicrous. That is a wild finish of all wild finishes that you can possibly get. I'm so looking forward to race 3 where Wes will be alongside me up here in the commentary box. But that is how you do the job, Nikita Bedrin. He won't know of any of the chaos. He may have seen it in the mirrors, but he won't directly know of what on earth happened. And you can't say Bedrin was all safe at the end. One little error, and Maxim Rem would have been there to try and punish him. That is an unbelievable start. And I think out of the 2 races that we've had, that will rank very highly in comparison to all of the races that we had last year. In terms of if there was a ranking and we include this year's races up against every single one of last year, I think these 2 will be quite high in the rankings. And we've only had 2 races. I think the developments and what they've done with this new car definitely making it quite a lot more entertaining, I think, for us. I think making it a bit more better for the drivers in terms of being able to go wheel to wheel, because some of the racing that we have had has been absolutely unbelievable. So much chaos, so much carnage, and when a commentator cannot get words out how they intend, you know it's been slightly chaotic. Yeah, that was an unbelievable ending. But Nikita Bedrin, I mean, everything's really been, other than Bedrin making the overtakes yesterday and the starts. I think Bedrin, if there is anything Bedrin can note down, it's race starts, isn't it? Because he's lost the lead now on both race starts. But other than that, what has he not got nailed? What has he not got nailed? He's got everything else in the lockout. And he's on top of the car. Nikita Bedrin, P1. As they make their way through. It's been dramatic. As of, yeah, Maxim Rem there. Also, of course, we've also got the... next race about to happen soon. In terms of the British GT, the main event's happening now. It is the main event next up here. We're going to have a lunch break, first of all. That's what's going to happen, and then we'll get going at 1 o'clock later for the British GT main event. So everyone down at the circuit will be going and enjoying some lunch, I'm sure. While the rest of them Well, these drivers, I think, first of all, take a bit of a rest. They can maybe have their lunch in a slightly delayed fashion, because I think everyone needs to calm down, including myself. I'm still going to wait for lunch. We've still got a bit of time until the FIA Formula Regional European Championship goes racing. A couple of hours till that. And then, of course, the GB3 Championship, partnered by the VRDC, will be here to end the day in as a whole. So, 1 second. Let me just quickly check in terms of... Just going to double check timings for you all. In terms of how everything went... well, what's happening when, basically. For everyone who's watching on, and I'm sure is looking forward to getting underway. Plenty of racing on today, so thank you very much for choosing us to be part of your Sunday, and I hope you can be with us later on as well when, as I said, the FIA FREC Championship goes racing. That'll be at 3:35, and then it'll be around 5:20 is when the... So that's UK time, by the way, for FIA FREC, so it'll be 4:35 local. For GB3 local time, which is, of course, UK, and UK time anyway, it is, of course, at 5:15. I'm going to give you the time because you probably want to be there a little bit. You want to be there before the race begins, of course. So 5:15 is going to be a perfect time for you to come and join us for that. And we'll be able to end the day, and hopefully we'll have Wes with us as well for that. So we're going to have Wes joining us later for some more entertainment and for some more action for the GB3 Championship. And Wes has been really looking forward to the start of this new season, so it's going to be interesting to have him up here in the box when there's more drama and more chaos playing out. Okay, well, that will bring an end to coverage here for race number 2. My thanks to all of the drivers for putting on a show, and to everyone for another successful race as well. Final thank you goes to you for watching. You have been watching race 2 of the GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC in 2026. We've got one more race coming up, and it's the reverse grid race. If race 1 and race 2 have been so chaotic, what are we going to get later on? You'll have to join us to find out. Goodbye.